All right, welcome into DyeStat Discussions. And today we are joined by one of the most talented and talked about athletes in America, Jackson Cantwell, out of the great state of Missouri. One of the top football prospects in the country for the class of 2026. Also, one of the top track and field prospects in the country. But before he started dominating on the gridiron, he was making noise in the circle. National champion thrower in the shot put, ranked among the best in the discus, currently U.S. number 7. Just last week, launched a monster throw, 74 feet 9.25 inches. That's U.S. number 1 so far for this year. And well, if his name sounds familiar, he comes from a great family tree. Jackson's dad, Christian, two-time Olympian, Olympic silver medalist, and a legend in the shot put. His mom, Teri, two-time NCAA champion at SMU and a Team USA thrower herself. But Jackson, he isn't just carrying the torch, he's setting it on fire. Let's get right into it. Jackson, thank you so much for taking some time today to talk with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And I want to start at the beginning. You grew up in a household with two world-class throwers as parents. What was that like day to day? And, was the shot put just kind of always around? Was there always an implement in the backyard? What did that look like?
Yeah, I mean, as a little kid with like the little turbo javelin and the mini shot put, that was something that I'd been doing from a young age, and that was something that like I always kind of knew I was gonna fall into at some point, just with the background I had. But no, it was around for sure.
And I know you mentioned when you were little, you were only a couple of months old when your dad trained or competed, or your mom. Did they show you the medals? Did they show you those pictures? What did they kind of instill in you growing up?
I think the Beijing silver is still in my closet somewhere, but it's something that definitely I knew about growing up. I mean, it's kind of weird to visualize now because my parents I mean, my mom works in HR and my dad just finished up his degree, but like I mean, it's weird to think about like these guys were doing this back in the day, but like it's something that's also kind of cool to learn about. 'Cause there's a lot of history. I learned something new like all the time about them, like and what they did back in the day.
What were some of those values or training principles that they passed down to you early on?
I mean, so many. I mean, just repetitions and like working hard and all that good stuff. I mean, like there's probably too many things that I don't remember to where the stuff that I do remember is a lot. And I think that's something that I could definitely be eternally grateful for.
I mean, how cool is it? And we'll get a little more in depth, but to have them on this journey, as you grow as an athlete, knowing that they competed in the highest level of the sport.
Well, it's pretty cool because they can provide a lot of good insight on what it takes to do that. I mean, if they've done it before and know what it takes, then it's easy to learn from. And like the mental side definitely gets easier as well.
Was there a moment, and in track specifically, when you were like, "Hey, I'm pretty good at this."
I mean, I don't know if it I mean, as a kid, I always kind of I was winning meets and stuff to where I kind of knew, but I didn't really know exactly what that meant. That was just kind of what I always did. But once I got to high school, I definitely started realizing I was like, okay, this comes pretty naturally now. So that was something they kind of figured out after that.
Last season, you won both the shot and the disc as a sophomore. That's rare territory. What did that accomplishment mean to you?
I mean, it was really cool because I mean, I was really close my freshman year to win the disc, and I had to get outing in the shot. And I think in the shot, just definitely, just the distance just kept gradually creeping away. I mean, second best was my teammate, and he was 5 meters behind me. And I think like that's something that I just continued to get better there. And in the disc, I mean, just being able to put up a decent mark and be able to just hold off was definitely something that I was really looking forward to. And I knew I had that in me. And I think that's something I should be able to try to repeat this year.
Yeah, you took your talent to the national stage. You went to Nike Nationals, finished fifth in the disc, won the national title in the shot put. What was that experience like? I know you did some AAU stuff, but to be Nike national champ, and Missouri's a competitive state, but to win a gold against the best in the country.
Well, I mean, it's a really cool meet every year. I mean, it's because the best people in the country. I know specifically for throwers and distance, it seems like NON gets everybody that they want to get to that meet. So I mean, it's always pretty good for that. I know sprinters usually end up at like New Balance or something like that, but I know, yeah, for NON, I mean, the shot and disc is always going to be really good, and everyone that I could think of was there for the shot and the disc. So it was good to be able to do what I was projected to do in the shot, and then in the disc, like be able to move up from where I was supposed to finish sixth. I ended up fifth. I didn't throw like super far, but not a lot of people did because after I finished my interviews, I was the last person out of that room. I had 20 minutes until my disc started, so I had no time at all. But I just battled that day and was able to come out in fifth, and that was just kind of fun to compete with those guys and just get after it.
Did that kind of change how you viewed your future in track and field? Like, okay, I'm good, I'm state champion, good, but I'm one of the best in the country.
Not really, because I could look at the like national rankings. You could tell that's the good thing about track that isn't really this
Doesn't lie.
isn't the same with football. Is in football it's subjective and playing against different competition can change stuff. In track, you can tape measure it and see how good someone is. So I mean I knew coming in, so okay, my distance is number two in the shot, but I've been more consistently ahead in the shot and the disc. I was like, okay, my distance is number six, and I've been like relatively consistent here. I kind of knew what I was going to end up in that regards. I just kind of had to execute on that given day. But like in track, you definitely like kind of know that beforehand. So unless someone was to hit like a huge PR at one of those meets, you kind of always know whether you can compete or not.
Do you have a favorite shot or disc?
Well, shots always come more naturally to me, so I guess I could say that. But I like both events.
Fast forwarding to this year, you just threw 74 feet 9.25 inches at districts. That's US number one. What was going through your mind during that series?
Good throw. I mean, I had a lot of good ones in that series. I think I had two, maybe three in the 22 realm. I don't 100% remember, but it was solid. I mean, I definitely think I was capable of more, but I'm still searching for a PR and I'm still searching for something bigger. But I mean, I'll take that for now for sure.
Yeah, and then, earlier this season, you hit 62.79 meters in the discus, 206 feet. That's good for US number seven currently. How does that throw stack up with your goals?
Kind of crazy that's US number seven. Discus is absolutely insane this year, but no,
Yeah.
it's I mean it's I definitely think I can, and I think I will throw farther than the disc. I would not be surprised if I went 210, 215 around like the state like meet, but I think that's something that I'm just gonna keep pushing towards. And I feel good about how consistent I've been in that 200 range in the disc. I think it'll only continue to get better as I get more meets under my belt.
Yeah, we talk about goals. I know you've been chasing history. Michael Carter's national high school record. It's 81 feet, 3.5 inches. Is that a target you think about often?
It was, but now I just want a PB because I know I'm not getting that at this point in my career. I just want to throw a PR at this point.
When you go out there in the circle, who do you go to for advice? Is it mom? Is it dad? Is it both? What do they tell you, before big meets?
Well, my mom doesn't coach me anymore. I mean, she can sometimes provide like general motivational advice. She does a good job of that. But my dad's the one coaching me, and he'll usually have the strategy and stuff what I need to do. Excuse
What do
me.
you think what do you think makes you such a good thrower?
I mean, just I think it definitely helps what they gave me. I mean, just being able to like be explosive and turn through the circle like the way I do. Like I know my dad says there's a lot of stuff that I do that like even he couldn't really do when he was throwing, but I think that and just being able to like take on challenges, like try to accomplish certain things within my throw is definitely something that helps as well.
Your size. I
That's a favorite
mean,
now.
I think it was 6'8", 310, somewhere around there.
Three
An
twenty now. I'm
advantage
broken
or
a little bit.
disadvantage?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it always helps me. Mass does move mass. That certainly helps in football and in track. I mean, I know a lot of guys in the high school ranks are like as big as I thought they would be, but like it definitely helps to be that size to move the ball and move the disc because that's just. I mean, you can't really teach that, but if you can teach yourself how to move with that size, it's a very good combination to have.
Yeah, just talk about this week coming up. You have your state series, and then the state championship. Excuse me, and then what's next postseason wise? Are you going to do Nike Nationals again? Are you going to do Junior Worlds? What does that schedule look like for the next couple of months?
See, it's kind of crazy because there's a small chance this may be it for me. I mean, I don't. I mean, because I'll put it this way: I don't know if I'm going to NON. I don't know if I'm throwing in college, so it'll be interesting. I'm just trying to take it day by day right now. But I might go to NON and I might not, and make a decision on that this week. And then I might throw in college. I might not. So we'll see. I mean, it's a fun sport. I've enjoyed doing it, but at the end of the day, I mean, football is it's what I do now. So I mean, that's something that I've got to put a lot of time and effort into.
And that kind of segues right to my next question. Talking about college, you're head of the University of Miami to play football. What was that decision like for you? And was it hard to maybe put track and field on the back burner?
I mean, it definitely wasn't hard once I figured out that was kind of what I wanted to do, and that came after I think because I didn't know what I wanted to do, but around my freshman years when I really fell in love with the game, and that was when I knew I was like, I'm going to do this, and I knew track might be a part of it, but I knew kind of after that point that football was going to be what I wanted to do, and I'm okay with that because I think that's kind of like I'm glad that I figured out that I love the game that much and that I want to get better at it, and I love learning about it all the time, but. I mean, I love track. It's just it wasn't as hard for me.
When the coaches came to recruit you for football, did anybody talk about the opportunity to do track and field as well?
Yeah, Oregon had a really interesting pitch with like that. That was actually how they were planning to market me was as a dual sport athlete. But there was a lot of programs that pitched that I could do it. The University of Miami did say that I could do it, and that option is still on the table. I don't know if I'm gonna like do that or not, but that's still an option. I know Coach Corey Young does a good job. I know there's a lot of other schools that I don't think I ever had a school explicitly say that I couldn't. Obviously, some were gonna be more open to it than others always, but there were always a few schools that were like you could definitely and should definitely do this. So it was kind of interesting to see how that played out.
Yeah, and we mentioned some of the schools, that recruited you. It's been rumored that your recruiting process included, nine-figure NIL offers, nine figures, seven
I,
figures,
I was
excuse
I was
me.
gonna say if it included nine figures, that
Not nine figures,
I wish it
seven
included nine
figures. Sorry, my
figures. Oh my
math was a
god.
little off there. But in the 2 to 3 million range, like that's more than most track athletes make in a decade, especially in the throws. I mean, there might be some sprinters that are touching a couple of million. But what's it like being in that kind of conversation?
Well, I'm just grateful that college football players can get paid at all because this is a good situation for the sport. And it's good people can get compensated for how much the sport makes. It's a very big revenue sport right now, college football is. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I've had parents that did track professionally. And as a career, if you look at the NFL versus like looking at what throwers make, and I mean, at the end of the day, people just watch what they want to watch. And people love watching football. And track's a great sport, but it's just not watched as much. So it's naturally not going to make as much. And that's just, I mean, obviously it's not why I chose track, but it helps. I mean, it's not like because I mean, it definitely helps to be compensated for like playing at the professional level or even at the college level now with the rules changing. But I mean, that's something that like is it's an interesting thing to think about really when you're considering that.
Does it make you want to see NIL expand more into sports like track and field and to give those talented athletes, maybe your peers, you know, on the track and in the field, some more opportunities and options?
I mean, it'd be cool, but also I mean, people are only going to pay for what they want to support, and a lot of times, I mean, there's really three revenue sports in college, and basketball and baseball don't make a whole lot. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's a lot of it's going to go to football. That's just how it is. Because I mean, that's the program that brings in the most money every week. But I mean, if they can figure out if people start watching track a little more, I know they're trying a new thing with the World Shot Put series, which is actually pretty entertaining. But there's a lot of, I mean, there's a lot of ideas there. But at the end of the day, they just gotta make a product that people want to watch if they want to do that.
I know we kind of touched on it, but you've talked to Coach Cristobal about the possibility of doing both. And listen, I've talked to people that I know. I've covered, the Buccaneers. I've covered college sports. I've covered pro sports. I've covered track and field. And I said, I don't know what they're paying you, and I'm not asking you, but if it is 1, 2, 3 million dollars, $500,000, I'm not letting you throw anything. I'm keeping you in I'm keeping you in the football facility, and I'm not letting you go anywhere. But what was that discussion like with him about maybe letting you do that?
Well, I think you summed up kind of my argument for why I wouldn't want to do that is like if a program's going to invest this much time into me, I mean, it would be like I would want to be the best football player I can be if the football program is going to invest that much in me. But I mean, I think the reason why you'd want to include track in there is like it's another aspect of competition. And it's a different like variety of training, and it has carryover. And obviously, it's had carryover throughout my high school career, but and also, you're going to miss out on valuable reps during spring ball because now it's become a pretty big thing. So it really just it depends on kind of what I'm thinking in the fall. That'll be kind of the decision I make then. But I mean, at the end of the day, there's a lot of good opportunities with both sides, and I can justify both sides.
Yeah, and you plan to enroll early in December. Like, why was that timing right for you?
It was right for me because I could get in and not only start taking classes faster because I'm planning on graduating in 2.5 years, but I was also planning on, I mean, just getting to learn the playbook as much as possible because whether I do track or not, I'm going to get more football being on campus than off of it. So I was thinking to do that then, and I'd either be able to do spring ball or do the spring walkthroughs combined with doing track because I figured I can do track in college if I early enroll. So I could do that. The school record at U Miami is something I could break right now, so it would be kind of cool to go get that. But it's an interesting opportunity for sure.
I read a quote from your grandma in an article that was written about your dad in 2008. She said, from the time he started playing football, he'd say, "Mom, I'm going to play in the NFL someday." And I would tell him, "Oh, no, you're not." Well, what kind of advice did your family give you when it came to making your own choice?
They want nothing better than for me to do that now because they know that's what I want at the end of the day. But they would have respected anything I would have wanted to do. If I had said sports wasn't for me, I'm sure they would have accepted that. My dad might have been a little slow, but he would have accepted it. But I think, I think they would be supportive of whatever I did, and I'm glad they've been supportive of all of it throughout this process.
Looking ahead, NFL, Olympics, or both?
I do not plan on doing track past college. I don't think it would do anything for me, but I would love nothing more than to go play in the National Football League. I think it's kind of the pinnacle of what anyone that follows football really wants to do. Because it's just the impressive athletes there. It's probably it's my. I think soccer overall does like better internationally, but in the U.S., there's nothing more watched than that. It's just the pinnacle of U.S. sports. So it'd be insanely cool to go do that.
What can Miami fans look forward to when Jackson Cantwell steps on campus?
Hopefully someone that can make an instant impact. I'm hoping I hope I can pick things up pretty fast, kind of just the way they do things. And I would love to get an opportunity to play earlier, even just get some snaps early, just to try to get some experience. And at the end of the day, I just want to try to make an impact as fast as possible and just affect the game and just be part of it. It's always cool to be part of something because there's only been one game in my career where I didn't play at all at the varsity level. My very first game when I was a freshman. I was second string at the time, and it was not very fun to not play. So that was something that I kind of strive for after that. So I definitely, I would like to be able to, impact the game because I know the coaches there believe in me. They think I could, and I think they can also expect somebody that'll get it done in the classroom that won't be a liability in the locker room, and just someone I just want to benefit the program. Honestly, I just want to make it better than I found it.
When people look back 10 years from now, well, what do you want them to say, or how do you want them to remember you?
Hopefully, he was a pretty good pass protector. I'm hoping I can develop that in college. But I guess hopefully that I helped my community and just was successful in what I did. Hopefully, I think that's the end goal. Like pretty much, no matter what.
I love it. Jackson Cantwell, he's got the genetics, he's got the drive, he's got the discipline. He's not living in anyone's shadow, creating his own legacy, one snap, one big time decision at a time, one throw at a time, and the kind of athlete who could go from a high school state champion and a national championship to one day we could see him in Super Bowls. Based on everything we've seen so far, don't be surprised if he just does just that. One of the top prospects for football in 2026 might go to Miami and dabble in the throws a little bit. We'll be glued at the computer screens and watching, but nonetheless, we will see him on the football field in a Canes uniform and one day in the NFL. Jackson, such a great honor to interview you and talk to you today. Best of luck coming up at States and the rest of your career and on the football field as well. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.